President Biden acknowledged during a town hall this week his concerns about COVID-19 vaccines reaching underserved populations. He promised to send millions of doses to federally funded health clinics. But this week, Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf also made a move to limit the number of facilities that can give the vaccine. WGAL News 8's Ann Shannon says that has community leaders concerned.
I understand what the state's trying to do, focusing on efficiency, but one of the common victims of efficiency is equity.
Kevin Ressler, who heads up the United Way in Lancaster County, wants to make sure everyone has access to the COVID-19 vaccine. He believes that may not happen, especially if fewer pharmacies and health systems are offering it across the state.
We know that we have serious problems in economic development where we do not go into the places in the community where lower income individuals live.
Along with access, Ressler says there's also a problem with awareness. Messages about the vaccine, its safety and effectiveness, and how to get it are not reaching everyone.
I think that what we're finding is that America is more diverse than we ever realized. So the amount of languages that we need to make translations for, the ways in which we need to communicate. We're so excited when we think about the fact that it's 2021 and we have all these digital technologies, but not everybody has been invited into the progress of America for the last 50 years.
Ressler also points to the digital divide, saying that both urban and rural communities don't always have access to the internet and the technology needed to use it. Another barrier is who's giving the vaccine.
10% of the Lancaster County residents don't have a primary care physician, which means they don't have a relationship with a provider.
Without that relationship, Ressler says the elderly, low-income individuals and minority groups are less likely to get vaccinated. Transportation to get the vaccine, whether at a pharmacy or mass vaccination center, could also be an issue.
The bus system struggles to get people to the mall in a timely fashion as it is. You're talking about 6,000 appointments. Are we really thinking about that as a solution for communities who don't have access to transportation? Are we really thinking about that as a solution to communities who are significantly far in distance away from that?
Ressler doesn't see a government fix coming in time to help. So for now, he's calling for a grassroots effort.
If you've got a neighbor, make sure that you can get them transportation if that's the thing that's going to be the solution.
The long-term solution, according to Ressler, to think about who's being left out and figure out how those individuals can be included. Ann Shannon, WGAL News 8.
And now more of our conversation with Dr. Oz. John B. writes, I am a 70-year-old man and I have an appointment to receive vaccine number 1 on February 16th. I am leaving to go to Florida on March 12th for 2 months. If I am unable to get number 2 prior to the March 12th vaccination appointment due, I have to start all over on return in early May.
No, you don't have to start all over. That's not how it works. Once you've had the first shot, you've already been alerted, your body has, to the fact that COVID-19 is out there somewhere. Just get the second shot when you can. We actually don't know what impact it has if you wait 3 months, as you're hypothesizing you might do. I'd rather not wait that long, but we're pretty sure, and I've talked to people who are on the actual panel who approved these vaccines for the U.S. government, and they believe for at least 2 months you're in the game, and probably 3 months as well. So I would just get my second shot in Florida, and if you're having trouble with that, when you come back, get it then.
So that 21 or 28-day window is not an absolute.
We prefer people get vaccinated in that period for 2 reasons. One, the system is designed to do it, and that's where all the data is. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be in big trouble if you delay past that. And again, most I can do is ask experts what they think would happen if you delay. We don't know for sure, which is why I'd rather you not do it. But if for whatever reason you can't get the second vaccine for 3 months, still get the second vaccine. You don't have to get another first vaccine.
I have an allergy, and you touched on this, the NSAID allergy. One doctor said I can't take the vaccine, another said I can. What is your opinion? An allergy to the NSAIDs?
I don't think an allergy to nonsteroidals has any meaningful impact on whether you can get the vaccine. Again, you've got to be monitored 15 minutes afterwards. If you have, and we have to get that anyway, but if you have an allergy, tell people, because people who are allergic to things, even if it's pollen, are more likely to react to anything else that comes into their body. So although it's a small risk, it's a theoretical one that you should be attentive to.
And Tom Brown asked, when we received our second shot of the Pfizer vaccine, we were told to expect a reaction within the next day or so, and others have told us they experienced reactions. My wife and I got very little of a reaction. Does that mean the vaccine is not working?
What a great question from Tom. You know, I always comfort people when they have reactions to the vaccine by saying it means your body was aware that you were getting infected and reacted. People who are in really good shape, don't have any inflammation in their body, probably are more likely to get through the second shot without a major issue. So, Tom, that might be your explanation. Again, I don't know your personal history, but I would not worry if you didn't have a big second reaction. I didn't have much of a reaction to my second shot. I knew I'd gotten it. I felt a little bit like something was about to come on for a couple hours the next morning, but nothing that even prevented me from working out. And I'm assuming I'm protected. And that's the data we have. Not everyone reacts. Even when they get COVID-19, not everyone has a bad reaction. But if you look around generally, people in really good shape don't seem to have much of a reaction to either the vaccine or to the virus. Again, this is anecdotal. We've never studied it.
Everybody has a different reaction to everything, so you can't go by one person what they're telling you. And here's another one. Why would the dose be the same for a 100-pound woman versus a 200-pound man? I know a couple who each got both doses. She weighs much less than her husband. She got very ill after the second dose. I'm not sure that's because of what she weighs, but maybe you can address that.
What smart viewers you have in Harrisburg. You know, I'm from the area, as you know, so yep. I expected this. Here's the deal. The vaccine itself isn't doing the heavy lifting. Your body is. The vaccine is putting in your body little snippets of this spike protein that the virus has. And it tells your body, hey, make more of these spike proteins. We're going to pretend we're infecting you with spike proteins, which aren't dangerous. So your body makes spike proteins. The more it makes spike proteins, the more your immune system attacks them, so that if you ever were to see something with spike proteins, AKA COVID-19 virus, you'd be able to react against it. And so it doesn't matter how much I inject you. I can put a vial this big into you, it wouldn't matter. Because you're going to have to make your own replications of these spike proteins anyway. That's why the dose is irrelevant.
And obviously there are other things like that are administering that vaccine, lipids and other things are in that dose, correct?
So the spike protein, this mRNA technology has to do one thing that's important. The mRNA is very fragile. That's why it's preserved in cold temperatures. But you have to wrap it with lipids, with fats, in order to make it palatable. It's like putting the medicine inside of a candy wrap. And when you put that into the body, the cells, you know, they say, oh, it's a little bit of fat, I'll take it in. They take the fat into their cells, and then inside that fat is the mRNA, which then hijacks the cell machinery and begins to replicate more spike proteins. And that cell disgorges those little spike proteins so other cells can react against the spike protein. Again, none of this is dangerous because there's no actual virus in there. It's just mRNA, little snippets that are in there. If you had a cancer, we take your cancer cell surface, wrap it in a little bit of fat, put it into your cells, your body can make antibodies against the cancer cell. Same kind of idea. So it's a much more elegant way of encouraging, tutoring your immune system to work better for you.
Dr. Joseph Contra, Chief of Infectious Diseases at Lancaster General Health, is joining us live tonight, and he's been answering questions and looking at questions on WGAL's Facebook page. Give us another that someone has asked, Dr. Contra.
Sure. People are asking also about the getting the vaccine in the setting of some chronic illnesses, and it is still a good idea to get the vaccine. It is not more dangerous or more likely to produce a side effect if you have a chronic illness. And in fact, people with chronic illnesses are more likely to get COVID and to have severe disease from it. People are also asking about the symptoms after the second shot being worse than after the first shot, and that's certainly true for most people. And again, the second shot is a booster. It's reminding your body that it has seen the spike protein before, and so it reacts more fervently the second time to produce a reaction. So your body aches and your arm soreness may be a little worse that second round. But the good news is that when you at some point in the future may be exposed to COVID itself, your body will respond like that and will be able to make antibodies to shut down the infection.
If you have had COVID, could you have a stronger reaction to the first dose?
Yes, we've actually seen that in people as well. So if you have recovered from COVID infection and you get your first dose, that first dose acts like a second booster dose as far as your immune system is concerned. And so the reactions to that first shot may be a little more pronounced.
All right, very good. Well, thank you, Dr. Contra. We appreciate your time tonight.
You bet.
Coming up, if you didn't get your question answered tonight, our 8 on Your Side response coverage will continue. We'll tell you where to send your questions coming up.